Look, if you offered me a nil-nil draw at before this game even kicked off, I would have taken it. A nil-nil against eighth place Middlesbrough going into the game, yeah, of course I would have taken it. However, the context for this game is very important. The context being that first half was probably amongst the best football I've seen Luton Town play this season. Everyone did their job. However, the problem is putting the ball in the back of the net, and Asgard had two gilt-edged chances. Elijah had a diving header pretty much on the line that he didn't put in. Like, we should have been 3-0. 3-0 up going in to half time. But, the reality is we weren't. And then the second half comes out, and as always, you just know a team does not come out in the second half and play as badly as they did in the first half. And that's the case with Middlesbrough. They weren't as bad. We still had some very good attacks. We could have done better. But to be honest, the job should have been done in the first half. Going through the team, though, there were some very good performances. I thought Carlton Morrissey covered every single blade of grass today, which was very good. However, you want him on the end of the chances that we're creating. You don't want Asgard running through the middle, being the one to dink the ball over the bar. Essentially, whenever the ball is in the danger zone, in the final third, you want your finisher there. You want your striker there. And Carlton, he gets too busy. He's tracking back. He's dropping into the midfield. He's running the channels. You want your striker to be between the width of the goal to put the ball in the net. Now, Elijah, look, he tried today. He tried, but he cannot finish. He makes a nuisance of himself. That's all right. I can go on and make a nuisance of myself, run around, charge people with my elbows. I can do that. But for the purpose of a game, you want your strikers to score goals. Essentially, that is what they're there for. Like Carlton, he scored 20 goals in our promotion season. Elijah, I think he got 13 or 14. I don't know. That's just off the top of my head. So correct me if I'm wrong. Then both of them got double figures in the Premier League. This season, this will be the first time since 2000-2001 when we were relegated to what was known as Division 3 at the time. So now it's League 2. And this will be the first time since the 2000-2001 season where it hasn't happened yet, but it's very likely that this will be the first time since then that we have no striker, no player that scores double figures. And that season was famous for, we started with Ricky Hill, then Lil Facillo came in, and then Joe Kinnear took over. And essentially the season afterwards was fantastic. We bounced straight back up. Kevin Nichols, Steve Howard, Paul Hughes, some sensational names that joined us. And a little bit of Carl Griffiths. He was gone too soon, unfortunately. Injuries happen. Talking about injuries happening, Jacob Brown, he lasted 14 minutes. And to be honest, this goes hand in hand with the refereeing today, which wasn't the greatest. It was very weak. It was a very weak referee, pretty much blowing for everything. Dyke still should have had a second yellow when he purposely handballed it and then kicked the ball away. And on the other side, Illing Jr. should have, I don't know how Miliali, who was, funnily enough, on the right-hand side when Jones was moved over to the left-hand side. That's another weird one. I don't quite understand what happened there. But anyway, he was blocking Miliali from getting beyond him, but somehow the foul went to Miliali. I don't understand. Back to Jacob Brown. So Brown, he got a booking for a challenge that essentially saw him getting taken off. It wasn't a challenge. He had a shot at goal. The defender threw himself at it. That happens. Last time I checked, football was a contact sport, was it not? Apparently not. Not anymore anyway. Not with this referee. And I talked about context earlier. Look, the context of how important this result was, yes, every single fan would have taken the draw. I'm sure the club internally had it down as a draw on their little plan of this is our route to survival. Well, when you look at the results today, essentially everything has gone against us. And yeah, so Oxford won. Oxford were a team. Like, come on, Watford, do us a favour, guys. Seriously. Don't you want to be playing us next season? Oxford were the team. They're on the worst run of form in the entire championship, and they go and beat Watford. They haven't won a game since, like, Oxford haven't won a game since they beat us about 12 games ago, and then they go and win today. Fortunately, Stoke lost. That's all right, but and then you go Cardiff City. Cardiff City beat Blackburn. Blackburn have now lost to Derby. They lost to Cardiff. They lost to Portsmouth. They pretty much lost to all the teams that were in and around us within a 2-week period. What is the point of Blackburn? Boy, I don't know. Blackburn, they're rubbish. And they're going to turn up to Kenilworth Road and they will probably give us a game, but they haven't given anyone else a game over the past 2 weeks. They've been absolutely atrocious and they deserve every little bit of dropping out the playoffs that they're getting right now. And John Eustace was right to leave them. Hull got a very well-earned draw against West Brom coming from behind. Derby won. At least Plymouth lost. I guess that's one thing that went our way. This all comes down to the point of context. The point is good. However, we cannot keep relying on teams to do us favours and keep losing. Because essentially, this is the business end of the season now. And you're going to see teams at the bottom put together runs that take them to pretty much the top of the form table. Look at Portsmouth. Portsmouth have a better run of form right now than Leeds United. Because that is what teams at the bottom threatened with relegation do. So our run of form, yeah. So we beat Portsmouth, we lost to Burnley, we beat Cardiff, and now we're drawn to Middlesbrough. Okay. 2 wins, a draw, a loss, or 2 losses in our last 5 games. That's all right, but we need to put a consistent run of wins and draws together. We cannot lose games now. If we want to have a realistic expectation to get out of this, we need to win when the other teams win. We need to not lose when the other teams around us lose. So essentially we gain ground on the teams directly above us. Look, I barely talked about the game, but essentially it was first half good, Middlesbrough were bad. Second half, Middlesbrough came out and improved a little bit. We pretty much were still decent, but the bottom line is you need to put your chances away. And that's when it comes to control the controllables. You put your chances away, you win the game, and then you're not worrying, looking over your shoulder. Well, in our case, you're looking at everyone just disappear over the horizon. Everyone's gone. They're going. Look, we got 8 games left now. And it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. Because, look, a couple of weeks ago, we were all resigned to relegation. We were all thinking, yeah, well, let's just plan for next season, play the kids, play the system. I'm guilty of this as well. I said, play the system that, Bloomfield wants to put in next year, ship out the players, start phasing out players that aren't going to be having a role next season. But then that's what Luton Town do. They pull you back in just as you think you're out. And now we're putting in good performances. They're good, but not quite good enough. And it's very, very frustrating because I love a season of mid-table mediocrity where it's just done and you don't need to worry about anything. But now everything is on the line. Every week, something else changes, something else matters. And yeah, look, it continues to live in your mind rent-free all the time. Like, are we going to survive? Are we going to survive? Are we going to go down? Well, at least there's some fight and desire coming in now, but unfortunately, I just don't think our strikers are good enough to bail us out of this. The defence looked good though today. We dealt with everything that Middlesbrough, well, limited, that Middlesbrough threw at us. I don't think they even got into our half until the 25th minute. They didn't create a chance until the 36th minute. And then the second half, yeah, they did a little bit more. But yeah. Big shout out to Chris Makoso. What a player. I hope he sticks around if we go to League One. What a player he is. Instant fan favourite. Tremendous. I like Liam Walsh. I don't think he has 90 minutes in him. But to be honest, since that statement that he released, he's been all right. He's been a good lad. And he's, he drives forward with the ball. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. That's another thing. In the second half, no one was taking responsibility to drive forward with the ball at all. But bottom line is, the performances have gotten better. Can you imagine if we had sacked Rob Edwards 3 months ago, considering Matt Bloomfield at both of the previous clubs he's managed, it has taken him nearly 2 months to get good performances and drill in his philosophy into the players. Think about that. I hope Gary Sweet is watching that. Think about that, Gary. Imagine if you had fired your best friend Rob Edwards a couple of months earlier. Maybe we'd be putting that run of form. Maybe we'd be in the middle of that lovely, glorious run of form that would be propelling us out of the relegation zone. But I guess we'll never know, because if some butts was candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Right. Next game is another 6-pointer against Hull. And this one is a must win, because, well, they're all essentially must wins now, because if we don't win, I'm certain all the teams around us would be winning. We have to win. Have to win. And this is an away game. We got the monkey off our back with our second away win of the season against Cardiff during the week. So now we go to Hull and we have to win. Have to win. Right. We got the post-match phone-in. We do a weekly fan phone-in. Join us Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Check it out. It's on our channel. I put it live. So hit that bell so you get reminded when we go live. We're recording Champ Chat and the Luton Town show, providing illness doesn't get us. But yeah, we'll see you Sunday night, 9 p.m. for the fan phone-in. Everyone, take care. And most importantly, come on, you Hatters. It's another clean sheets, but we need more than clean sheets. We need 3 points, but hey, on to Hull. Let's go.